In religion, a relic usually consists of the physical remains of a saint or the personal effects of the saint or venerated person preserved for purposes of veneration as a tangible memorial. Relics are an important aspect of some forms of Buddhism, Christianity, Hinduism, Shamanism, and many other religions. Relic derives from the Latin reliquiae, meaning remains, and a form of the Latin verb relinquere, to leave behind or abandon. A reliquary is a shrine that houses one or more religious relics. Relics in classical antiquity. In ancient Greece, a city or sanctuary might claim to possess, without necessarily displaying, the remains of a venerated hero as a part of a hero cult. Other venerable objects associated with the hero were more likely to be on display in sanctuaries, such as spears, shields, or other weaponry, chariots, ships or figureheads, furniture such as chairs or tripods, and clothing. The sanctuary of the Lucipides at Sparta claimed to display the egg of Leda. The bones were not regarded as holding a particular power derived from the hero, with some exceptions, such as the divine shoulder of Pelops held at Olympia. Miracles and healing were not regularly attributed to them. Rather, the presence was meant to serve a tutelary function, as the tomb of Oedipus was said to protect Athens. The bones of Orestes and Theseus were supposed to have been stolen or removed from their original resting place and reburied. On the advice of the Delphic oracle, the Spartans searched for the bones of Orestes and brought them home, without which they had been told they could not expect victory in the war against the neighboring Tegeans. Plutarch says that the Athenians were likewise instructed by the oracle to locate and steal the relics of Theseus from the Dolopians. The body of the legendary Eurystheus was also supposed to protect Athens from enemy attack, and in Thebes, that of the prophet Amphraus, whose cult was oracular and healing. Plutarch narrates transferals similar to that of Theseus for the bodies of the historical Demetrius I of Macedon and Phocion the Good. The bones or ashes of Aesculapius at Epidaurus, and of Perdiccas at Macedon, were treated with the deepest veneration. As with the relics of Theseus, the bones are sometimes described in literary sources as gigantic, an indication of the hero's larger-than-life status. On the basis of the reported size, it has been conjectured that such bones were those of prehistoric creatures, the startling discovery of which may have prompted the sanctifying of the site. The head of the poet-prophet Orpheus was supposed to have been transported to Lesbos, where it was enshrined and visited as an oracle. The 2nd-century geographer Pausanias reported that the bones of Orpheus were kept in a stone vase displayed on a pillar near Dion, his place of death and a major religious center. These two were regarded as having oracular power, which might be accessed through dreaming in a ritual of incubation. The accidental exposure of the bones brought a disaster upon the town of Libreda, whence the people of Dion had transferred the relics to their own keeping. According to the Chronicon Pascal, the bones of the Persian Zoroaster were venerated, but the tradition of Zoroastrianism and its scriptures offer no support of this. Hinduism. In Hinduism, relics are less common than in other religions since the physical remains of most saints are cremated. The veneration of corporal relics may have originated with the Sramana movement of the appearance of Buddhism, and burial practices became more common after the Muslim invasions. Buddhism. In Buddhism, relics of the Buddha and various sages are venerated. After the Buddha's death, his remains were divided into 8 portions. Afterward, these relics were enshrined in stupas wherever Buddhism was spread. Despite his instructions that relics were not to be collected or venerated, some relics believed to be original remains of the body of the Buddha still survive, including the much revered sacred relic of the tooth of the Buddha in Sri Lanka. A stupa is a building created specifically for the relics. Many Buddhist temples have stupas, and historically, the placement of relics in a stupa often became the initial structure around which the whole temple would be based. Today, many stupas also hold the ashes or rings of prominent, respected Buddhists who were cremated. In rare cases the whole body is conserved, for example in the case of Dudjom Rinpoche. After his death, his physical body was moved a year later from France and placed in a stupa in one of his main monasteries near Bhutan, Nepal in 1988. Pilgrims may view his body through a glass window in the stupa. The Buddha's relics are considered to show people that enlightenment is possible, to remind them that the Buddha was a real person, and to also promote good virtue.